Brother Ahmed El-Shabazz, it's always a very great honor to hear your voice and to have you now on the phone line. And I really would like to talk about the Nation of Islam as it is today, because many people, they don't understand the difference between the true Nation of Islam and those organizations who call themselves Nation of Islam but actually are not the true Muslims and not the true Muslim followers of Messenger Elijah Muhammad. And one of the greatest sect, as I would call it, is Farrakhan's group. And you have written this very, very great book about Farrakhan's organization and all the things he's doing, things that the public often misses because it's being done behind closed doors. And I think in order to explain this to people who don't really have this background knowledge, can you explain what is the difference between Farrakhan's organization and his group and the true Muslim followers of Messenger Elijah Muhammad?
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Mustafa, it's a pleasure to be talking to you as well once again. It's been a while. And thank you for giving me the time to explain the difference between the true followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, may peace be upon him, and the differences between those Muslims and the people who follow or the leadership of Mr. Louis Farrakhan. The primary main difference is no Muslim follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you're a true follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, number one, you would not be worshiping the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as exalted Christ. And you would not have the belief that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who passed away in 1975, you would not have this belief, this spooky belief that he is still alive and that he is the exalted Christ, nor would you be a member of the Church of Scientology, nor would you be a Freemason. So these are some of the things that are going contrary to the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. There are numerous things, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad made it quite clear what the Muslims believe. And we don't believe in the messenger being God. We didn't believe in the messenger of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad being God while he was alive. So you have to have a PhD in stupidity to believe he's God after he's passed on. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad represented Allah as has appeared in the person of Master W.D. Farad Muhammad. He is the Messiah. He's the great Mahdi. He's the Christ, or the crusher of the wicked. Followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad know this because they've read Message to the Black Man, and at page 294, I do believe, of Message to the Black Man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad made it quite clear. And I'm going to quote the Honorable Elijah Muhammad concerning the Allah that he represented to the world and for the Asiatic black man of North America, black man and woman of North America. He says, Allah, whom we praise, and this is me, I'm quoting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Message to the Black Man, page 294. Allah, whom we praise, comes in the person of Master W.F. Muhammad, the great Mahdi expected by the Muslims, and the Antichrist, the devils, under the name Son of Man, Jesus Christ, Messiah, God, Lord, Jehovah, the last Jehovah, and the Christ. These meanings are good and befitting as titles, but the meaning of his name, Mahdi, is as mentioned in the Holy Quran Sharif, chapter 22:54, is better. All of these names refer to him. His name, Farad Muhammad, is beautiful in its meaning. He must bring an end to war, and the only way to end war between man and man is to destroy the war maker, the troublemaker, end quote. That's the difference, Brother Mustafa. In a nutshell, we believe in the Allah that the messenger believed in. We follow and apply the teachings and the supreme wisdom that was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in all his 5 books and in the lessons, all right, to our lives. We have no need for Freemasonry, Scientology. We don't follow these other exalted leaders either. We follow and we put our faith and we trust in Allah, Master W. Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi.
Yes, Minister Ahmed. So, in my opinion, Farrakhan and people like him, they are exactly what the messenger taught us about of hypocrites. The messenger said, leave my teachings as it is. Don't add to it, don't take away from it, and don't change it in any way. Just keep my commandments and my teachings and my instructions. But Farrakhan didn't do that. Messenger Elijah Muhammad said in 1972, he said, there is no other messenger or prophet coming after me. I'm the last one of those kind of people. No warner will ever come after me. And in the year 2010, Farrakhan said, and I quote him, I am a warner from God. So he's definitely going against the messenger, and I think everyone will see this. So it's definitely a contradiction to what the messenger has been teaching for all those years.
Yes, Brother Mustafa. Farrakhan is, you said the right word, against. He is against the teachings of Master Farad Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So he's anti the Christ. If Master Farad Muhammad is the Christ, the great Mahdi, and he is, any opposition to him would make that person the Antichrist. And that's what he set himself up as. He even declared himself as a being such a person. Let me quote Farrakhan here. He's saying in February of 2019, to quote Mr. Farrakhan, he said, I represent the Messiah. I represent the Jesus. I am that Jesus. That's blasphemy, end quote. That's blasphemy. Beside the fact that Louis Farrakhan was giving a plaque by a Jewish rabbi, and on his plaque they calling him the world Messiah. Now theologians will agree that this the Jewish Messiah will be the Antichrist himself. So he's been letting the world know who he is all along. You just have to pay attention. He's the master of doublespeak. He's a very slick person with his speaking. So you have to pay attention to what he's saying. The messenger would not have dared put himself in the position of God. So here comes this man doing the same thing, putting himself in the position of God. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has all of the prophets and the messengers. All of the messengers and prophets warned the people about the Antichrist. And Louis Farrakhan is the Nation of Islam's own Antichrist. He fits the bill.
Yes, and I absolutely agree. And I would like to quote the messenger once again directly. He said in Message to the Black Man, they will not bow in submission to the will of Allah and obedience and following his messenger. And after a year or so under this condition, they are classified with the devil, to be destroyed in hellfire, the final end of both. So, and if we take a look at Mr. Farrakhan, in the year 1975, when the messenger passed and the Nation of Islam was changing directions away from the truth. Farrakhan turned hypocrite because he joined the messenger's son, who also was a disbeliever in his own father. And in 1978, Farrakhan began his own movement, his own group. So from 1975 till 1978 is more than 1 year. And now many of Farrakhan's followers are saying that Farrakhan is such a hardworking man and he's doing everything he can to help his people. But this is actually a very weak argument, because if you take a look at the Pope in Rome, the Pope also has many followers and he's also working very hard. But that doesn't mean he's working hard for Allah. The Pope is working hard for himself and his empire of lies, and so does Mr. Farrakhan. So I think Farrakhan has proven on many levels that he disobeys the messenger.
Yes, Brother Mustafa, that is a very good point that you brought up. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and as bearing witness to what the Holy Quran teaches, that a person who turns his heels on Allah over a year, they classified with the devils. And Farrakhan went 3 years. 1975, he went with a known disbeliever, Wallace Muhammad, known hypocrite and disbeliever, known, he's an agent. We have records of him being a federal agent. We have records of some others being federal agents set in to undermine the Nation of Islam. So between 75 and 78 is interesting bit of history. Farrakhan and Wallace joined up with Jim Jones. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't want to have anything to do with Jim Jones. Jim Jones was a disciple of Father Divine, another false prophet, and also another agent of the government, another agent provocateur of Jim Jones. And so between 75 and 78 is some pivotal years, you know. And Farrakhan, then he comes after him and Wallace get together and plot to Farrakhan will attract the strong, fiery new followers, younger people, and Wallace would go after the weaker ones. And we've seen history prove that when they got back together in the year 2001, where they were never apart, showing they've always been working together behind the scenes. Together, Farrakhan and Wallace. Yes, these are the last days for the. You know, the Antichrist his time was only supposed to be 40 years. So he knows his time. As a matter of fact, he said that last year. My 40 years are up. He said that last February 27th, 2021. He said that after Sister Naadiya, Maryam, and myself published our book, which was, defending the good name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Muslims of the lost found Nation of Islam in the wilderness of North America.
Yes, Minister Ahmed, you just released your second book, and I think it's a great book with a lot of information for all people who are interested in this history. And for example, in this book, you are explaining and showing actual proof that the government agencies have been working behind the scenes in order to try to destroy the accomplishments of the Nation of Islam, of the true Nation of Islam.
Yes, we have in our book that my co-author, Sister Naadiya, Maryam, and I wrote. We have the actual document where the FBI memo dated January 7th, 1969, and their plan to activate their agents to neutralize the real leadership within the Nation of Islam and to guide it away from its independence, self-independence model that was designed by Master Farad Muhammad and put forth by the messenger. Is this FBI memo dated January 7th, 1969. And this is telling, if you can pull it up yourself, you can do your own research, but we have it in our book as a matter of record that the FBI had already had agents within the Nation of Islam, and they tied up the Nation of Islam property in probate court. This is all in the memo. Now, mind you, this was some 6 years before the passing of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Here's the quote, little brief sentence here. It says, when he, meaning Honorable Elijah Muhammad, dies, a power struggle can be expected, and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should prepare for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred, so-called race hatred, and separate nationhood aspects, end quote. So, what goes on to say, the alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership, or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate factionalism necessary to destroy, or by the splitting of the Nation of Islam into several groups.
What do you think is the best way for believers and for all the Muslims who believe in Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings? What can they do to prepare in this time and in this state the world is now in?
Great question, brother Mustafa. We Muslims who follow Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad, came here to North America to make himself present, make his presence known in the world by raising up the Asiatic Black nation in North America. That act alone proved the presence of Allah on earth today. What Muslims need to do today, number one, is to put their trust and keep their trust in Allah's word as taught by his messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We see that everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about is coming to pass very fast. We see the fall of America. We see the winds of World War III blowing. We see international disorder after this so-called New World Order that they tried to put forth didn't work. So for the Muslims globally who believe in Islam as taught by the messenger, but especially the Muslims here in North America, keep your faith in Allah's word, only Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, and his messenger's word. No need to be a blind follower. Forget about this personality worship. You see, these gentlemen have not done anything. They haven't built nothing for you. You should have been building something for yourselves all along the way, or trying to prepare yourself or know what to do when this time comes, which is keep your food bank, try to get your little garden started, and work with those of like mind to when the hour of need comes, and we see how this system can shut down overnight. They showed you in 2020 how they shut down the world, and if you weren't prepared when that happened, a lot of people suffered. So that was a signal. Stock up on your food, your waters, but keep your faith in Allah and His Messenger, and reread and study and apply these teachings to our lives. You know, we're getting to the end of all the teaching. You know, we time it's time for doing. Way past time for doing. Should have been doing, but we've been distracted, and we're distracted by this false leadership because we had to keep some of these people away from the false leaders. We had to defend. We had to defend Islam as taught by the messenger. So that's a hard job in itself. That's a job. But there are others out here are working now behind the scenes to build that kingdom of God that we're supposed to be trying to build. But there's going to be some very, very rough days ahead. Be prepared and don't be shocked by anything you see. And that's all I have to say, my brother.
Yes, so can you say what is your opinion about the current war going on with Russia and Ukraine?
Yes, Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught on Gog and Magog. I have a quote from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad concerning Gog and Magog. Quote, the white man was driven out of Arabia into the cold, frigid zone of what is now called Europe. The people of Russia are referred to in the Bible and Holy Quran as the Gogs. Other infidel people, such as European and American white race, are referred to by some of the scientists as being the Magogs, end quote. Now, of course, you can track this through history, and you're running to the history of Yaqub as taught by the messenger. You can go, and that'll take you into the history of the people of the Caucasus Mountains, people of Khazaria. You're going to go into the history of the Scythians and that migration across the steppes. Some migrated westward, some went eastward. The people that stayed in the east were the Gog. People that traveled westward and were the Magogs, and later out. The rest is history. But we have in the Holy Quran where it says, even when Gog and Magog are let loose, they shall sally forth from every elevated place. Holy Quran 2196. This is a war that we were warned about by Allah, and even to the last messenger of Allah warned us about Gog and Magog, and which would be Russia and the United States. Gog being Russia, Magog being the Western Alliance, along with the United States of America and NATO. This is a dangerous time because of the weapons that they're using. And but remember what Master Farad Muhammad said. He said America be first on his list. Did he not? And we all know he did. So yes, this is a sign for us to all be watching for. China and Russia are in alignment economically and militarily because they want to topple the American European hegemony. They want to be the next world order, or make cushion themselves from what they see coming on the United States. Everybody knows prophecy behind the scenes. They know it's coming to the United States. They know it, what exactly is coming. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the people here what was going to come to America and why. Because of their mistreatment of the black man, the original people, the indigenous people of North America, their mistreatment. That's why God is going to destroy America, for her sins. She's the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Even Billy Graham said that if God didn't destroy America for her sins, God would owe Sodom and Gomorrah an apology. Now, if the Christian preacher said that, he just bearing witness to what the messenger said in his own way. That's what we have to expect. You may have to move, my brother, quickly yourself. Be prepared to move. Be prepared to be on the lookout, and don't be so quick not to want to stay. If you have to leave, leave. You know, always be prepared to leave, but always be on alert today, especially nowadays. So it's a very troubling time. It's the worst in times and the best of times, but you have to be on alert today.
Thank you very much, Minister Ahmed El-Shabazz, for your time.
Yes, brother Mustafa. Thank you very much for having me on and interviewing me this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Where can we get your books and the titles of your books?
Yes, my latest project that I co-wrote with Sister Naadiya Maryam is entitled "Defending the Good Name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Muslims of the Lost and Found Nation of Islam in the Wilderness of North America. You can order from any bookstore, but mainly from Amazon.com. My first project was called The Death of Satan. That was published in 2013. That book can also be found at bookstores anywhere. Also on Amazon.com. And Brother Mustapha, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate all the time that you allowed me today. And I hope all is well. May Allah continue to bless you, and may you keep up the good work that you're doing.
Thank you very, very much, Minister Ahmed El-Shabazz, for your time and for everything that you do, all your work, all your dedication, and for being just a great person that you are. And it's really an honor for me to know you. And yes, I'm just praying that Allah will keep blessing you and all your family. Thank you once again. Assalamu alaikum.